Have you ever had failed expectations? Have you ever chased a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Have you ever had a dream that didn't turn out the way you thought? Or any other scenario similar to that? All of us living in this mortal life had times when life did not turn out as expected. And we often might be left wondering, is God in charge? What is going on? What is the purpose of these experiences that often can be hard, difficult, or full of suffering? Let's read from D&C 111. And we have the story of Joseph and other members of the church going out to Salem, Massachusetts, believing that there would be wealth that they could procure, which would help alleviate some of the debts of the church. And they ended up not finding the wealth. Although eventually, later missionaries went back and had a wealth of converts. But let's actually read what God said to these early saints who pursued the proverbial pot of gold and didn't find it. I, the Lord your God, am not displeased with your coming this journey, notwithstanding your follies. I find that really beautiful. That God understands that we all have follies, and even though we make mistakes at times, he's not necessarily displeased with us. He has a plan and a purpose that he can turn all things to our good. He goes on and says, verse 2, I have much treasure in the city for you, for the benefit of Zion, and many people in the city whom I will gather out in due time for the benefit of Zion through your instrumentality. Therefore, it is expedient that you should form acquaintance with men in the city, as you shall be led and as it shall be given unto you. So I'd like to just share a brief story that was told by Ardith Kapp back in 1991. She told a story about friends coming over and giving her peaches, and they were just very delicious. And the family, including the children, talked about how they had pruned the peach trees. They'd actually left 3 trees in the orchard unpruned. The father actually encouraged the children to do that so that they actually could test and see the difference between the pruned trees and those that were not. And what the children discovered was that the trees that were pruned, chopped back, cultivated, produced larger, more sweet fruit. And what Ardith G. Kapp talked about was that the trees that were left unpruned had smaller fruit that was not very sweet. Now, if you're a tree, you don't want to be chopped. You don't want to be cut. You don't want to be hacked back. There's pain involved. But pruning is part of the process of strengthening to help weak things become strong. And we see that going on in scriptures and in our own lives. That God might chop back a shoot or a branch that we've put out there, and he's not displeased that we put in the effort to build those branches, but he wants us to become something more. And he sees the larger picture, the larger perspective of who we can be. So he prunes us at times. So the invitation for all of us is, look at some aspect of your life, perhaps of some foolish choice that you made. What did you learn? How did you feel God's love and encouragement to help you continue to press forward in your life, even though you may have made a foolish choice? How did you find that God's love was magnified in your life? And always remember and know that God is with you. He knows that we are trying our best to be like him, to do what is right. Even when we have righteous desires and they don't always pan out, he will help us. He is not displeased with our efforts. And know that he loves you.